Hello guys and welcome to my channel. My name is Monkey D Gamer and this channel will mainly feature content to do with the One Piece card game, but I'm also leaving it open to other games too, so please do leave your suggestions in the comments. There's going to be some OPO 5 and 6 gameplay in the background, so please do enjoy. So I'm going to start with where my journey began, and I would say I officially began playing late last year around August, right after the grand opening of the Bandai store in Camden. But before this, let's say around February times is when I bought my first starter deck just for decoration, and I believe it was starter deck 5, the one with Shanks as the leader. I also purchased the Dragon Ball Z gifts collection for fun, just because I'm also a huge Dragon Ball Z fan, but that's a story for another time. I was bored one day and decided to learn how to play the game. I'm sure everyone will know what I'm talking about, but I watched a tutorial of the two kids explaining how to play the game, and oh my god, I got fed up listening to their voices, but that's only because I watched it about 5 times to get the hang of it. And after I slowly began to get a hang of it, I decided to buy a few more starter decks, starting with STO1 and STO9. And there's also a single player tutorial app on phones which I used to religiously play on every train journey I went on. Shame it didn't have online because Kaido could not hold a smoke any longer, I'll tell you that. So after some time playing the app, I got bored and eventually introduced a friend to the game, and by introducing I mean force until they finished defeating Kaido. We started playing against each other, bearing in mind we had no clue how events or counters worked. We used events without tapping dons, so you can imagine how easy it was to defend and attack against our leaders. So after playing against each other for a while, it was time to upgrade and buy a booster box. We had no idea where to start. My sister was in Japan at the time, and I asked if she could bring some back, and like a fool not knowing how popular and sought after OPO 1 was, I asked her to bring back a box of OPO 4 and 2 boosters of O2 and O1. And oh, the regrets I had later, but we move. I ended up buying an OPO 3 booster box, and with a little bit of negotiation, I think I got it for quite a bargain. I initially bought it to sell the cards I packed since I was still new at the game and wanted to make a few bucks, and that's exactly what I did for a while. But then we started going to an event held by Bandai called Pirates Party, where you play 3 different people and you get a promo at the end of it. That's when I really understood how lucrative this game was, because that golden promo was going for money. We entered the tutorial session first, and the turnout was incredible. It was a full house and not enough seats for extras. We were given a Zoro deck to play with to familiarise ourselves with the game, which was really cool because Zoro is a demon right now. They also handed out stamp cards for which if you get 5 stamps you get a choice of 3 different sleeves to put on your dons, which is really cool for beginners. I decided to go into Gear 2 and spend my life savings on booster boxes. I'm just kidding, I didn't do that, and don't do that either. At this point we were introduced to the Bandai TCG app, and from there we realised that many stores were local to us. The first being Zombie Games Cafe. Shout out to Zombie. It has a retro interior with old school video game consoles, which was neat, as well as a downstairs playing area for all card games. Seeing as we have never entered a locals tourney before, we thought why not dive straight into the deep end. Long story short, I ended up 1 and 2. But at least we got participation prizes and a grilling from an opponent that told me I wasn't allowed to use Japanese cards, so I had to hit him with the puppy face so he would feel bad for telling me off. All jokes aside though, all the guys there were nice and even recommended I take a look at a website that sold singles, Card Market. After being smacked in the face by Lorne Whitebeard, it was time to step things up and enter into every single tournament I could, starting with Sword Battle. If you've made it this far into the video, please leave a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and leave a comment on what you'd like to see on this channel moving forward. How this event works is you buy 6 packs of any set you want, and from those 6 packs you create a deck of 40 cards to use with the leader they provide you with, and that leader was a multi-card Luffy leader, giving you the ability to use any effect on the cards, as shown on the screen here. We would play 3 rounds in Swiss format, and the top 4 would get this Sabo card, as shown above. And as you can see, the current market value for this card is... Me, knowing nothing about the meta or what strategy to have going into this, chose to go for 2 OPO 1, 4 OPO 4, and since OPO 1 is only limited to 2 per person and OPO 4 was my favourite set, looks wise, boy I was in for a nasty surprise. I look around and see everyone with O1, O2, and being the clueless person I am, I asked everyone why they chose O2 and they immediately said Moby Dick, and that's when I realised I fucked up.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
So I hop into the first game, and on one easier search in, my opponent finds his Moby Dick. Fast forward to the end of the game, he revealed that he had 3 in his deck. I already knew that it was going to be a long day for me. I take a loss in game 2, but it came down to 1k less counter, and then I go on to win game 3, but it doesn't matter at this point because that Saba was not coming home with me that day. On to the second sealed battle event. I obviously learned from my mistakes and went all out on OPO 2, and it paid off because this time I went 2-1, missing out on that Saba once again, but we did better than the last. Third event, same story, but it was a great learning experience in the end, along with a lot of good loot that went for sale. eBay link in bio if you're interested. Okay, so fast forward into December, we get the release of OPO 5, and boy it goes down from here. The hype for this set was already clear. Everyone wanted their hands on that manga Luffy, which looks insane by the way. Little did we know how fast OPO 5 would go out of stock, and I only managed to get my hands on 2 boxes. Within the space of a week, Bandai went from selling 1 case per person, to 6 boxes per person, to 2 per person, down to 1 unsealed, which was insane. 05 went out of stock before 03 did, and it was out for over just a month. So you can imagine how difficult it was for people to get the cards they needed. I just feel bad for any beginners that want to start out, because even starter decks 1 to 7 were sold out, so boo to all the scalpers out there. But as a yellow player, it wasn't that difficult to pull the cards that I needed. Yes, hate on me for playing yellow, but that's the only colour I have a full deck of for some reason. My pack luck for yellow is just that good. 3 categories in 3 weeks. I am here. I will be uploading pack openings on my channel soon, so do stay tuned. I will also be taking part in regionals in Wolverhampton soon, and hearing that OPO 6 is legal is going to make it tough because I still haven't pre-ordered my boxes yet, and Bandai have said that they have late shipment. I might have to set up a campsite outside Bandai just to secure some loot. I will also be competing in the online regionals a couple weeks later, and it's also my first time participating, and during Ramadan, so that should be an experience in itself. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video and my gameplay in the background. Please leave suggestions of what you'd like to see or what you want me to talk about. Please don't forget to like and subscribe so you can stay notified when I post.